AI is rewriting the rules. Inflation is reshaping your wallet. Jobs are evolving faster than ever. This isn't just economics, it's your life. In this video, we'll decode the forces shaping your future and show you how to thrive. The world we knew is being redrawn, and the ink is barely dry. We are living through a monumental transition, a period of economic recalibration that is both unsettling and filled with unprecedented opportunity. The aftershocks of the global pandemic are still rippling through our economies, fundamentally altering the way goods move, businesses operate, and we live our daily lives. This isn't a return to normal, it's a recalibration to a new reality. We see it in the supply chains, once the invisible, humming arteries of global commerce, now fragile and constantly being rerouted. Companies are moving from just-in-time to just-in-case, diversifying their sources and bringing production closer to home in a trend known as nearshoring or friendshoring. This shift creates resilience, but also introduces new costs and complexities into the global system. Simultaneously, the world's energy markets are experiencing a period of intense volatility. Geopolitical tensions, the accelerating transition to renewable sources, and fluctuating demand patterns have created a landscape where price swings are the new norm. This isn't just about the price at the pump. It affects the cost of everything, from manufacturing goods to shipping them to your doorstep. It influences corporate investment decisions and governmental policies, shaping the energy infrastructure of tomorrow. We are in the midst of a tectonic shift, a rebalancing of global economic power and priorities. As the International Monetary Fund aptly stated, we are on the brink of a technological revolution that could jumpstart productivity, boost global growth, and raise incomes. This isn't a storm to be weathered, but a new climate to adapt to. The challenge and the opportunity lies in understanding these interconnected forces and finding our place within this new economic architecture. At the heart of this revolution is artificial intelligence, a force of creative destruction unlike any we've seen before. AI isn't just another tool, it's a foundational technology, a new layer of intelligence that is permeating every industry and every facet of our lives. Its impact on the labor market will be profound and multifaceted. An analysis by the International Monetary Fund suggests that nearly 40% of global employment is exposed to AI, with advanced economies facing a higher degree of exposure than emerging markets. This exposure, however, is not a simple story of replacement. For many, AI will act as a powerful collaborator, a tool that complements human skills, automates tedious tasks, and unlocks new levels of productivity and creativity. Imagine architects using generative AI to visualize hundreds of design iterations in minutes, or scientists using it to analyze vast datasets to accelerate drug discovery. However, the disruptive nature of AI cannot be understated. Many roles, particularly those based on routine cognitive or manual tasks, face a high risk of automation. This will necessitate a significant reallocation of labor, a great reshuffling of skills and careers. A study from the Bank for International Settlements highlights this dual nature, noting AI's potential to significantly boost output while also posing complex challenges for inflation and economic stability. The key insight is that AI doesn't just substitute labor, it changes the very nature of jobs and the value of certain skills. The jobs that will thrive are those that leverage uniquely human capabilities, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving, and creativity. The transition will be challenging, but it also presents a historic opportunity to augment human potential and create new forms of value. Compounding these technological shifts is the persistent and pervasive force of inflation. For many, this has been a harsh reintroduction to an economic concept that had been dormant for years. Inflation is, simply put, the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, purchasing power is falling. We've experienced a perfect storm of inflationary pressures. On one hand, we've seen demand pull inflation, where a surge in consumer demand, fueled by fiscal stimulus and pent-up savings, outstripped the supply of available goods. On the other hand, we've been hit by cost-push inflation, driven by those very supply chain disruptions and volatile energy prices that increase the cost of production. It's a classic squeeze, with too much money chasing too few goods, while the cost to make those goods is also rising. In response, central banks around the world have deployed their primary weapon, raising interest rates. The goal is to cool down the economy by making it more expensive to borrow money, thereby reducing demand and taming prices. But this is a delicate balancing act. Raise rates too aggressively, and you risk tipping the economy into a recession. Do too little, and you risk letting inflation become entrenched. This dynamic has direct and tangible consequences for you. It erodes the value of your savings, meaning the money you've put away buys less tomorrow than it does today. It can diminish the real returns on your investments and, most immediately, it shrinks your purchasing power, making your monthly budget feel tighter and tighter. Understanding the mechanics of inflation isn't an academic exercise. It's a crucial skill for protecting your financial well-being in a volatile world. Amidst this turbulence, the landscape of work is being reshaped at an astonishing pace. The jobs of tomorrow are emerging from three key sectors: technology, the green economy, and the care economy. The tech sector continues its relentless expansion, with high demand for software developers, data scientists, cybersecurity analysts, and AI specialists. These are the architects of our new digital world. In parallel, the global imperative to address climate change is fueling a boom in the green economy. This creates a surge in demand for renewable energy technicians, sustainability consultants, electric vehicle engineers, and experts in green construction. This isn't just an environmental movement. It's a massive economic transition creating millions of new roles. At the same time, aging populations and a greater focus on well-being are driving significant growth in the care economy, creating jobs for nurses, therapists, and elder care specialists. Conversely, we are witnessing a steady decline in roles that are repetitive, predictable, and can be easily automated by technology. This includes certain types of data entry, assembly line work, and administrative tasks. This shift doesn't mean the end of work, but rather the end of work as we know it. It signals a profound change in the skills that the market values. As the St. Louis Fed noted in a recent analysis, AI offers humanity a chance to extend the relevance and value of human expertise. The future of work is not about competing with machines. It's about collaborating with them. It demands a new emphasis on lifelong learning, adaptability, and the cultivation of skills that AI cannot replicate: empathy, leadership, strategic thinking, and creative ingenuity. The challenge is to see this not as a threat, but as an invitation to evolve. So, how does this complex web of global forces, AI, inflation, and shifting job markets directly affect you? It manifests in your daily life in very concrete ways. First, expect greater income volatility. The era of a single, stable, 40-year career is fading. Instead, your professional life may be characterized by more frequent career pivots, periods of upskilling, and a blend of full-time work with freelance or project-based assignments. This requires a new mindset, one that embraces change and views your career not as a linear ladder, but as a portfolio of skills and experiences that you actively manage and develop. You are the CEO of your own career, and your primary responsibility is to stay relevant. This economic environment also directly impacts your cost of living and demands a more sophisticated approach to financial planning. When inflation is high, your salary doesn't go as far, and the future cost of your goals, buying a home, retirement, education, becomes a moving target. It's no longer enough to just save. You must plan strategically. This is where tools become invaluable. Use online inflation calculators to understand how rising prices will impact your long-term savings goals. Explore job trend platforms like LinkedIn or specialized industry reports to see which skills are in high demand and where future career opportunities lie. By using data to inform your decisions, you can move from a reactive position to a proactive one, forecasting the impact of these economic shifts and adjusting your personal and professional strategy accordingly. The economy isn't just numbers on a screen or charts in a report. It's your rent. It's your job. It's the future you are trying to build for yourself and your family. The forces of AI, inflation, and global restructuring are not distant, abstract concepts. They are the currents shaping the river of your life. You cannot control the direction of the river, but you can learn to navigate it. Understand these forces. Don't be intimidated by them. Be informed by them. Adapt your strategy, continuously invest in your skills, and remain flexible in your outlook. The goal is not merely to survive the cycles of economic change, but to build a life that thrives no matter what comes next. Grow relentlessly.